isn't it wild that Lizzo is still in the media for her weight? That's wild to me. It really is. I would absolutely hate that. Like, totally. I can totally get where she's coming from too on like, it doesn't matter what you do, nobody is gonna accept you pretty much for who you are. But that's like the theme in Hollywood and amongst, these like rappers and stuff. But I do have to say, starting off this whole, everybody keeps calling it beef, but I don't think it's beef at all. I don't think it ever even was headed towards beef. Just simply because of how Yung Miami conducted herself. Like, that's true women empowerment right there. That she was acting from a place of power and love, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And I wish that more women in music and, Hollywood and the media would act from that place instead of a place of self-lack. But yeah, she definitely gained a fan on that one. It just seems like everybody nowadays is just constantly beefing. And so to see one woman standing up for another woman, and just kind of trying to shut down all the haters and whatnot, like that was cool. It does suck to see Lizzo still, I think she's seeking acceptance, or she's seeking validation outside of herself still. Now that she has lost weight, I think that she was expecting, like everybody that was hating on her weight to like flip over and turn into like her fan now that she's skinny. But in reality, like, you're not going to be able to please everybody. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like how you are or who you are, what you look like. There's just going to always be people, that don't agree with you. And it sucks to see that she still hasn't, like, realized that she's a bad chick, like, in the good way. She's so pretty, and she's so, like, I've always loved her. Her energy, I thought she was prettier as a big girl. She's still gorgeous, like, she still looks great, but she lost that weight in order to be accepted. And I think that now she's seeking that validation as a skinny girl, because she hasn't really known what it's like to be a skinny girl. So now she's stepping out onto the scene, and she's expecting everybody to love her, and they're not. And so when Yung Miami, and what she said was, I could see how it got misconstrued, especially if you put yourself in Lizzo's seat and you really like look at it from her point of view. She is always on the defense. And if you can be an honest human being, everybody's been in a position where they've been on the defense. So if you can imagine being, Lizzo, and constantly having to, watch all these things that all these other, her so-called friends or, people that she associates with, having to watch, they're trying to listen to their podcast, having, to make sure that, like, nobody is bashing you, like, any of your friends that say that they're your friends, making sure that they're not bashing you, I'm sure is what she's been doing, which I would do the same thing, but I think that, and she said it herself too, she stepped out of the spotlight. It's her lack of self-love, that she's just looking for that. It's not like she's seeking compliments, but she doesn't know what it's like to be a skinny girl. So, totally, like, off track there. So, Yung Miami, what she was saying, I could see how it was misconstrued. However, I think that her calling her on her talk show or on her podcast that's a little confusing. I don't know if she was expecting, like, Yung Miami to be like, you know, say that she was talking smack. And I'm just trying to think of, like, how would it have gone had Yung Miami really been saying something nasty about her, and then Lizzo calling her out on her podcast, you know? Like, that would be absolutely wild. But I think all goes back to Lizzo's lack of self-love, lack of, you know, self-acceptance, and validation. You know, she's reaching out, and they were talking about it too, how she's always on, you know, defense and always having to defend herself against, you know, people that are talking smack and all this. Again, like, Yung Miami, seriously, the way she handled that, like, she nailed all of it. Everything that she said to her, like, that was really cool. I hope this was really a learning experience for Lizzo, to, like, stop watching the media and what they have to say about her, girl. Like, stay out of the news. I mean, stop watching all the videos about you. Stop reading all the comments on your stuff. Like, just stop. Because there's always going to be probably an abundance of people that don't like you, you know? And I don't know, I hope to see her really start loving herself more, really start accepting herself more, because she's an amazing artist, you know, and she's so pretty. And I feel like she compares herself a lot to, you know, her fellow artists and stuff like that. And hopefully, you know, the mask can come off of her eyes. She can, you know, open her eyes and see that all of us are extremely unique. If we were all just ourselves, right? Instead of out there seeking that validation and trying to be what everybody else wants us to be, if we were just ourselves and unique and authentic in our own skin, then we would see that, like, there's so much to love about ourselves and about other people, you know? We wouldn't have to play this, like, chameleon and constantly change for other people, and you know, we're constantly, like, reaching out to seek validation. No matter what we do, we're constantly like, is this good enough? Is this good enough? You know? Like, it just needs to be good enough. What you're doing and who you are and what you're being right now, it should just be good enough. Otherwise, you're gonna waste so much energy trying to become somebody that other people want you to be. And then when you become that, they aren't even watching. They don't even care. So I'm gonna end this with obviously always self-love. That's where it all comes down to self-love. Everything we do. So yeah, love yourself. Bye.